Namaste, I'm Jessica, your Zen Mommy, and today we're going to do a self-love flow. This is an all levels flow. You don't need any props, just yourself, maybe some water, a yoga mat, a safe space, and the willingness to connect. So I'm so grateful that you took this opportunity to practice with me. And don't forget, if you haven't, reach out to me on Instagram at the_Zen_mommy. You can always DM and ask me any questions. And by all means, download the Zen Mommy app and we can connect right there on the community wall. So let's go ahead and start in child's pose. Bringing the big toes together, bringing the knees as wide as feels comfortable. And then play around with the placement of the hands. So hands can come back by your knees alongside the body with the palms up, or hands can be forward. And if you have tight shoulders like I do, I love to take my hands a little bit wider, just giving me some space to not crowd the inner shoulder so that I allow the inner shoulders to drop down away from the ears. And imagine through this flow, we're just breathing in love notes to our body, exhaling any judgments or fears or anticipations. Just breathe in this beautiful sense of okayness, right? When we're in reality, when we're in the present moment, we are okay. We are good enough. Yeah, in the Yoga Sutras, it says when a negative thought arises, just replace it with a positive one, right? So as simple as that sounds, obviously a little more difficult in practice, but if any negative thoughts arise throughout our time together, just simply replace it with a positive one. And if you're searching for some positive language, using the words, I am love or I am enough. Start to breathe in and out through your nose if you're able. Ujjayi pranayama is the breath that we call victorious breath. It's that slight constriction through the back of the throat, where you draw the breath in, making that kind of Darth Vader, H-A, ha sound as the inhale and exhale, breathing in and out through the nose. Just a few more breaths here in child's pose. Just establishing this sense of grounding. So feeling the fingers into the mat or the earth, feeling the tops of the feet into the mat, feeling our heart down, our ego down. When you're ready, just slither onto the belly. Making a pillow for your head, just stacking the hands, just relax here. We're going to take about 5 deep breaths. Big belly breath. So drawing the breath in, letting the belly rise. Feeling that pressure, that feedback from the mat and the earth. And slowly soften, letting the belly soften. 4 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. 3 more breaths on your own, drawing it out. On your 5th and final breath, just draw the breath in, hold it slightly, and maybe an audible exhale. Sigh it out through the nose and mouth, make noise. Take the feet a little wider so they line up with the edges of the mat. Go ahead and bring the hands off the mat. Tent the fingers like you're not trying to squish cupcake icing. Draw the shoulders up and down the back. And I want you to feel the top of the pubic bone press down against the earth. This is a little modified kind of cobra situation. Press down to the tops of the feet, lift the upper body gently. Use the muscles that align the spine to lift you up. And then lower everything down. Bring the right ear to the mat, goalpost the right arm, and slide that left knee up toward that left elbow. Just take a little chest stretch on the right side, just nice and gentle. You can bring that left hand in to just relax. Taking a few moments here. And then you bring the forehead to neutral, return the hands outside the mat, 10th of fingers. Return the legs where they were, roll the shoulders down away from the ears, gently press into the hands, use the muscles to surround the spine and lift up the upper body. This time, lower the right elbow and right ear as you gaze toward the left, little stretch. Lift the right ear and elbow and lower the left ear and shoulder. Gotta take it one more time to the right. One more time to the left, just stretching through the front of the shoulders. And then stay to the left, let the left arm come to the goalpost and slide that right knee up. Go ahead and bring that left temple down to the mat. Just stretch the left side of the chest. So you should feel a stretching sensation, nice and gentle, through the left side of the chest, the front of the pec, maybe even down the bicep. Just breathe. Soften the muscles of the face. Breathing in that love, letting go of any judgment or fear. Just allow your body to arrive here on your mat. Go ahead and bring the forehead to neutral, bring the hands beside the rib cage, and just press back into tabletop. So knees are underneath the hips, the hands and wrists are underneath the shoulders. We'll just take a few rounds of cat and cow here. So I want you to think of tipping the tailbone up, dropping the belly, let the chest fall through the plane of the shoulders, squeeze the shoulders down and away from the ears and gaze up if that feels good on the neck. And then initiating the movement from the tailbone, start to round the tailbone, pull the belly in, press up through the midrib, separate the shoulder blades, and bring the chin to your chest, like an angry cat on Halloween. And then we'll just work between those two postures, maybe layer on the breath. As you inhale, this is cow pose. And exhale, initiating that movement from the tailbone, undulating the spine to cat pose. And then make this as fluid and simple and easy. Add any kind of other gentle movements that feel good or right in your body. This is a very flowy kind of flow where you just have this space and ability to move in a way that feels good to you. Sometimes I like to do little barrel rolls with my chest. There's no right or wrong way to practice as long as you're honoring your body and your energy. The first little rule in yoga is ahimsa, which means do no harm. All right, hands come outside the shoulders, slight engagement of the belly, tuck the toes, cover the knees for a moment in bear plank, and then lift the hips and come to your first downward facing dog. I love to take a moment to just pedal out the heels and generously bend the knees and pressing the chest toward the thighs. And I want you to keep a nice bend in the knees here. So a few little alignment cues. Looking at the hands, I want you to really focus on pressing that thumb and forefinger down. So put some weight there. We tend to rock a lot of weight to the pinky edge. And notice if you're sitting into the heels of the hands. So get some weight into the fingertips. Now I want you to start to wrap the triceps down so that almost like they were hugging in towards your nose. And then feel a broadening through the back. Let the head and neck hang. Slightly pull the belly in. Lift the tailbone up and separate the sitting bones, and then look at the heels. See if you can get the heels to disappear behind the toes, because there's a slight internal rotation of the inner thighs to come back and up. Really, really nice. Walking the hands all the way back to the back of the mat. Take a ragdoll pose. Just grab opposite elbows, bend the knees really generously, and just hang and sway. Breathe space into the low back. Letting the worries of the day just roll off your shoulders. Letting your head be heavy here. And when you're ready, releasing the hands, walking back out to downward facing dog. Maybe allowing the heels to drop just a centimeter closer toward the mat as we start to open up the back of the body. Identify the right foot. When you're ready, step it outside the right hand, lower the left knee and shin, untuck the toes. Press down to the fingertips and then draw the heart forward. So I want you to think of a nice long spine here. Prick the ears, drop the chin slightly, take another breath. And as you exhale, tuck the left toes, step the right foot back and find downward facing dog again. Identify the left foot, step it outside the left hand so it's nice and wide, and then lower that right knee, shin, top of the foot comes flat now. Again, press down to all 10 fingers, draw the heart forward through the plane of the shoulders, feel that nice stretch through the front of the right thigh. We'll build on from here. When you're ready, tuck the right toes, step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Right foot comes up outside the right hand. This time, leave the left leg up. Take a soft bend in that left knee and then press out through the left heel. Fire up that left quad. Keep the left hand into the mat. Bring the right arm forward where the thumb is up. And then start to rotate open toward the right. Find an easy twist. Breathing here, twisting from the thoracic spine. My hips stay nice and neutral. It's okay if that left side lowers down just a little bit if it's easier on the low back. Taking another breath here. Right hand will come down, right foot will step back, downward facing dog. Full breath. Left foot steps up when you're ready outside the left hand. So we're going to take a soft bend in that right knee and then squeeze the right quad, press back to the right heel. Both hands are firmly planted into the mat. Then put a little weight into that right hand, extend the left arm forward, look at the thumb straight up to the sky, and then twist from the rib cage until that left arm comes straight above the shoulder. Easy twist. Breathe here. Go. When you're ready, go ahead and lower on the exhale. The left hand's going to come back inside the left foot. Step the right foot up outside the right hand and drop the hips down till you come into yogi squat variation. So turning toward you, the hips will come down in between the heels. It's okay if the heels are lifted a little bit, or even if the butt is a lot higher here. We're just starting to get into the groin and the hip flexors, putting some pressure and some weight into all four corners of the feet. Feel that. And see here, can you breathe in a loving thought? Let go of any judgments you might have about the body or its capabilities. Just allow the body to arrive in these shapes. Taking another breath in and breath out. On your next exhale, bring the hands down, turn the toes forward, and they're a little wider than hip distance this time. And go ahead and find yourself into our second forward fold of the day. This time, I want you to grab the big toes with the peace sign fingers, generously bend the knees till the belly places under the thighs, take the elbows out to the side, and with the 2-finger grip on the big toes, start to pull yourself in half, a little deeper now. Again, finding those same principles, you feel all four corners of the feet pressing into the earth. There's a slight internal rotation of the inner thighs. The sitting bones are separated, and the tailbone is reaching up toward the ceiling or sky, relaxing through the head and neck. Beautiful work. Slow down the breath. If you find that it's hard to breathe in a forward fold, I invite you to take the feet even a little wider. Sometimes giving us more space for the belly to come between the thighs is a little easier to breathe. Know that the shape your body's making may look totally different than mine, but it's without judgment. We're all here with the ability to show up on our mat. Releasing the hands when you're ready, just walk those feet underneath the hips. So hip distance apart, and you can check in here, is about 2 fists. If I put 2 fists together, and I'll turn toward you guys, right like that, it's about hip distance apart for me. So that's the bone distance, not our flesh distance. And then I want you to bend the knees, just ragdoll, slowly roll all the way up. We come into Samasthiti at the top of the mat. So we're going to keep our feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, make fists with the hands and start to goal post. So you're going to start to drive the elbows down, squeezing the biceps, almost like I was bringing the elbows to touch behind me, but I can't, which allows this nice broadening and opening through the collarbones. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, make fists. Draw it down, lift up the heart. Last time, inhale, almost like you're grabbing for something. And then exhale, draw it down. Elbows, we're going to touch behind the body. Allow that exhale to find a forward fold. Taking a full breath here at the bottom, we're going to come through a modified sun A variation to continue to warm up the body. As you inhale, bring the hands onto the shin, pull the belly in slightly, draw the heart forward, look forward to the top of the mat. As you exhale, bring the hands down, step the left foot back, find runner's lunge. So I like to wiggle my right foot a little bit to the right. At this time, I want you to lower the left knee, but keep the left toes tucked. Press down to the right foot and inhale, lift the upper body and the hands. So think of length through the side waist, length through the fingertips. Make those fists again, turn the palms away from you. Draw the elbows down away, open up the chest and the heart. Take a full breath in here. And as you exhale, bring the hands down, step the right foot back and find downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. From plank, go ahead and lower the knees. Lift the booty up high above the knees. And I want you to lower down the chest and chin down to the mat, keeping the elbows glued in. This is a devotional pose, pranam. And then slither forward, find that baby cobra. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, press slightly into the hands, look up, press down to the pubic bone and the tops of the feet. We've been here before. And as you exhale, the chin will come down, press back to child's pose just for a moment, and then make our way back to downward facing dog. All right, right leg will lift when you're ready. And as you exhale, step the right foot up by the right thumb, this time to the inside. As you inhale, firm the legs, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat and find a forward fold. Inhale, press down to the feet as you lift all the way up. Make those hands into fists. Exhale, squeeze the heart open. Find the elbows back behind, lift up through the collarbones and chest. And as you exhale, find a forward fold, folding in half. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen, look forward beyond the mat. And as you exhale, bring the hands down, step the right foot back. Find runner's lunge here for a moment, and then lower that right knee. Keep the right toes tucked. Press down to the left foot. Inhale, lift the arm. Make those fists, turn the palms away. Exhale, open the chest and the heart. Squeeze the biceps, squeeze the elbows. Inhale, bring the hands down. And as you exhale, step back to plank, lower the knees, and then the tailbone tips up. Find the arch in the back, bring the chest and the chin down, pranam. Inhale, slither forward, find a baby cobra. Exhale, the same breath will bring the chin down and press into child's pose. Pause for a moment. When you're ready, find downward facing dog. Inhale, we'll lift the left leg up and back. Exhale, we'll step the left foot in between the hands, look forward, inhale. Exhale, right foot comes up to meet it, forward fold. Root down, rise up. Reach the arms up overhead, turn the palms away, make fists. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Good, take a breath here. Squeeze the biceps. We'll take one more round. Exhale, find a forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands down, step the left foot back, runner's lunge, lower the knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back, plank, lower pranam, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, come forward, baby cobra. Exhale, chin comes down, press to child's pose. Same breath, make it to downward facing. Right leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale, right foot steps. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, left foot comes in, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, stay for a breath, squeeze everything together, open up the heart, breathe in. Exhale, dive and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, the right foot will step back, lower the right knee, shin. As you inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, dive the heart forward, squeeze the biceps, open the chest and heart. Inhale, bring the hands down. Exhale, step back to plank, lower knees, belly, chest. Slither forward, baby cobra is your breath in. Exhale, bring the chin this time. Stay through child's pose, breathe. Meant to warm the body, begin to check in with the thoughts. Notice any tingling sensation throughout the body, feeling that aliveness Energy pulsating through the body. Notice if you can even feel the energy from me to you through miles, through distance, just by sharing breath and movement, sharing this ancient practice together. Let's take a moment in tabletop pose. Let's continue to open up the shoulders. So just like we did that easy twist, bring the left arm forward, left thumb comes up, twist to the left, reach 2 arms in opposition, and then thread the left arm underneath, bring the left ear down to the mat. If you feel another variation, like maybe extending the right leg and feeling a little pressure into the left shoulder feels good to you, or you can keep that right knee down. Stretching the left shoulder blade, relax as much as you can to the left side of the chest and face. And then when you're ready, right hand comes down. Relift that left arm just to exit the pose, and then left hand will come down. Establish that tabletop posture again. Right arms forward, right thumb to the ceiling. Twist to the right, big open arms. And then thread the needle, right arm comes underneath, right shoulder comes down, right temple comes down. And whatever variation feels good on this side. Relaxing to the right side of the neck and chest. And then when you're ready, the left hand comes down, the left knee comes down. We'll relift that right arm one more time, and then bring that right hand down. Find your way into downward facing dog. Notice if there's any difference between this down dog and maybe the first one at the beginning of our practice. And then bring the feet slightly closer together. They don't have to be all the way together, but just so you have a more stable base. When you're ready, lift the right leg, bend the knee, and open the hip. Just allow it to feel good. We'll build this little flow together, allow those little micro movements and adjustments, whatever feels good in your body. When you're ready, I want you to come forward into plank, but round the spine. Bring the right knee all the way up close to that right armpit, and then step the right thumb. We've been here many times. Right hand up by the right thumb. So establish a firm foundation. Maybe you want to wiggle that right foot to the right. Come to the fingertips, look forward, and then press down to the feet. I want you to do so that the energy of the legs allows you to transfer and lift the upper body into high crescent pose. So our hips are square-ish toward the front of the mat. We're feeling the outer right hip draw back. We're feeling maybe a soft bend in that left leg, but there's energy out through that left heel. Bending a little bit deeper toward that right knee. And I want you to bring your hands into heart center here. We're going to lean out halfway over that right thigh and hook the left elbow outside the right thigh. So if you're like, ooh, this is too much, you can always lower the knee and find a little bit more stable base. But if you want to stay here with the challenge, and there is no right or wrong way, keep that left knee lifted. So again, I want you to think like we did in those easy twists, that you're twisting from the rib cage. So pull the belly in slightly, thinking the left rib cage is coming around toward the right, feeling the wibbles and wobbles as you try to maintain balance here on 2 limbs, and then press the palms together. Think of bringing the sternum toward the thumbs, broaden through the collarbones, even through that right collarbone. Belly pulls in, giving a little massage for those internal organs, challenging ourselves. And when you're ready, look down at that right big toe, ground the back left heel, upright the spine. We're going to come into warrior 2. So this becomes more of a side-facing posture. And since we started with the right, you'll get my back body. But I want you to notice that you're in somewhat of a heel to arch alignment. So bend into that right knee deeply, but allow that outer right hip to draw back, almost like there's a U shape of energy. So the inner part of that right thigh is reaching forward. And then notice with the arms, try to hug them in a little bit into the shoulders so they're not just hanging in space, but that they feel supported. You're allowing this left hip to wrap just a little bit slightly forward, and those left toes are turned in about 45 degrees to allow that left hip a little bit more space. And then here, just ever so gently, I want you, by engaging the abdominal muscles, just to lift the pubic bone up slightly. Bend in a little bit deeper toward that right thigh. Taking another breath in here. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Go ahead and step back to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip. Now I'll get to face you. And then square the hips when you're ready. Round the spine as you come forward. Let that left knee come inside toward that left armpit, and then step it up by the left thumb. So notice exactly where that left foot is landing. And then establish a firm base. Find length through the spine. Press down to the feet. So press that right heel back and that left heel straight down. So much so that you start to upright the spine. Notice if this side feels a little bit different. Maybe you need a little bit more space on this side. So wiggling that left foot off to the left ever so slightly. Maybe you really want to try to straighten that right leg on this side. It feels better. So just notice these things about yourself. That's what's so great about coming to these postures time and time again. Is we get to find that practice of awareness. Without judgment, we just notice what's going on in the body. Notice where our balance may be today. When you're ready, go ahead and bring the hands into heart center. Fold halfway out over that left thigh. This time, hook the right elbow outside of the left thigh. Again, that right knee is there if you need it. I'll take it on this side so I can show you this variation. I want you to think of, again, finding length through the sternum, length through the spine as you begin to twist the right side rib cage around. Still feeling stability through that left foot. Again, if the knee is lifted, it looks here. So keeping that nice 90-degree bend through that left leg, not allowing that left knee to collapse in, but finding that nice, beautiful twist. Being okay with the shakes and wobbles. Maybe it's their first practice in a while. Maybe it's your first practice ever. It's all okay. Being willing to take modifications and to take rest whenever you need it. One more breath here. Look down at that left big toe. And then you're going to ground that back right heel. We'll open the chest up, facing toward the phone or device or iPad or whatever you have. We're going to find warrior two. So like I said, we're more in a heel to arch alignment. There's an energetic action of drawing this left hip back. And at the same time, like a U shape, the left inner thigh draws forward. So there's that energy of pull and push. My right toes are turned in, which is going to give me some space for this right hip to slightly rotate forward or internally. Turning my chest toward the long side of the mat. Again, hugging those shoulders in so my arms just start hanging there in space. So it's a really powerful posture. If you imagine a warrior, Virabhadrasana, it's a warrior pose. Finding those beautiful breaths. Yep, we're still here. Maybe bend in a little bit deeper, feeling your strength. Taking another inhale here. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. All right, from downward facing dog, we're gonna add on slightly to this flow. When you're ready, lift the right leg as you inhale. Step the right foot up by the right thumb. Find crescent lunge. We've been here. Lift the arms. God, this time, I want you to clasp the hands behind you. So roll the shoulders up, down, away. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back, and then draw the heels of the hands back. I want you to start to lean forward like we did in that twist. So you're forward over the right thigh, keeping a slight bend in that right leg. Start to hover the left leg and find a bent knee, warrior three. So we're having a slight bend in that right leg is helpful to keep allowing that right hip to draw back. Using the left glute to keep the left leg in the air. If it's too much with the bind, hands can be on the hips, hands can be in prayer at the center of the heart, or hands can even be forward. Wherever you choose, take another breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, step back, warrior two, and open up the arms. We won't be here for quite as long. Tip the right palm as you inhale. Maintain that lunge. Find an exalted warrior. And as you exhale, straighten the right leg and bring the arms to a T. So I want you to feel that that right hip draws in. The left toes are turned forward at 45 degrees, which allows that left hip to rotate forward. And I want you to start to reach. with that right arm. Woo. Really reaching with that right arm. Allow the right hand to come down to the outside of the shin, turning the chest toward the long edge of the mat. Go ahead and lift that left arm up. So we come into triangle pose. I want you to place the left hand on the top rib cage for a moment and think of pressing down just slightly energetically to allow you to find length through the lower rib cage as well. Hands can be up higher, just not placing it on the knee or any joints. You notice I've got a soft bend in my right leg. Breathing here. And I feel this energy, this hug in, this collective energy as I'm squeezing the legs together in toward the midline. Taking another breath here. God, as you exhale, turn the chest toward the mat, bring the left hand down, step the left foot up to pyramid pose. So finding this here for a moment. And then I want you to step the left foot all the way up and cross it in front of the right leg. So we're going to find a cross-legged forward fold. I'll turn towards you, so my left foot is in front of my right. My hips are as square as they can be to the top of the mat. I'm going to find this forward fold. So you should have a nice deep stretch to the outside of the right thigh. If you want a little bit more from here, you can roll to the pinky edge of that right foot and begin to walk the hands toward the left, feeling a little bit deeper sensation. Just try to normalize the breathing. Whatever variation you took, bring the chest and fingertips around toward the top of the mat. Unravel the left foot, step it back to the back of the mat, bring the hands down and step back into downward facing dog. Bring those feet slightly together. When you're ready, left leg will lift. When you're ready, as you exhale, the left foot steps up by the left thumb, press down to the feet, lift the arms, find crescent pose. Woo, wiggling, landing in that posture. Notice my body already went there, so I'm going to take a little bit wider stance because that feels better to me today. And then we'll take that clasp again, but I want you to find the awkward clasp. So notice the hands that you clasp, which thumb is on top, and then switch the thumbs. It'll feel a little bit different. Roll the shoulders up, down, away from the ears, and find that opening through the chest and the heart. There's a lot of heart opening through this flow. All right, we tend to be really closed off to vulnerability, closed off to experience, closed off to ourselves. So there's an energetic opening. There's also an emotional opening through these heart postures. When you're ready, you can maintain the bind with the hands, fold over the left thigh, keep a soft bend in the left leg, and begin to float the right leg up behind you, coming into a bent knee warrior 3. So notice the balance, keeping a soft bend in that right knee. Notice if your hands want to come somewhere else, please honor that. Keep wrapping that left hip back, find energy through that right foot, lifting up with the right glute. Breathe. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Stay with me, take one more breath. And when you're ready, as you exhale, step back into warrior 2. The right foot will step back and wide down that long side of the mat, opening the arms wide. We won't be here forever, but notice those right toes are turned in. When you're ready, tip the left palm as you inhale, exalt, finding the stretch through the left side of the body. Taking a breath here. Then bring the arms to a T, straighten the left leg. So you might need to shorten your stance a bit. So you notice that the right toes are turned in, so that allows that right hip to roll forward slightly. That also gives me space for this left hip to move back. So I'm almost kind of stacking the hips at an angle. Reaching the arms long like a T, reaching long, 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 and then allowing that left hand to come to the outside of the left shin. So right hand's gonna come up onto the right rib cage, that's the rib cage on top. And I'm gonna give myself a little press there. Notice that it gives me just a few more inches of length through that lower left side body. If it's too much for the neck, you can always gaze down at that left big toe. If it feels right, maybe lift that right hand, gaze up toward that right thumb. Breathe here. You notice there's a triangle here between my arms and my waist. There's a triangle between my legs and the mat. Beautiful. Taking another round of breath. As you exhale, bring the right hand down, the chest turns toward the mat. Step the right foot up and wide to pyramid, and then stand it all the way up to the top of the mat. Cross it in front of the left. Finding a cross leg forward fold at the top of the mat. Folding yourself in half, drawing that left hip back and right hip forward. If you want a little bit more, the leg behind, that's the left, you'd roll to the pinky edge, lift up the arch, and then maybe walk the fingertips over toward the right slightly. Normalizing the breath. Whatever variation you took, go ahead and come back toward the center. Uncross the right leg and let's come into pyramid pose. So the right foot is back and wide, so they're about hip distance apart. The left foot is forward. Find a nice flat back here. I want you to square the hips off as best you can, and then fold yourself in half, maybe bringing the forehead to the top of the left shin. Breathing here. Let's find a halfway lift. When you're ready, inhale, look forward, flat spine. Exhale, bring that forehead to the shin. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, look forward, long spine. Exhale, forward, forehead to shin. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Take 2 breaths, drawing that left hip up and back, and that right hip forward and down, finding that nice deep hamstring stretch. Think of allowing the back of the left knee to be wide and long. Come into the fingertips when you're ready. I want you to bring the right knee down toward the mat. So I'm here in this kneeling position, and then I want you to bring the right knee behind the left heel. So I'm bringing my right knee across my body behind the left heel, and I'm going to sit in a seated twist position. So my right knee is down, my left leg is up and over, and if this is too much for you, that left foot can be in the inside, right? So here or up and over, and you can adjust your sitting bones and however feels comfortable. You just don't want to be sitting on that right foot. That wouldn't feel very good. All right, so once we've established the position, find a nice long spine. Bring the left hand behind like a second spine. Lift the right arm straight up like you're right by the ears, and then find a twist toward the right. So hook that right elbow, maybe to the outside of the left knee. Find that nice long tall spine again. Maybe you turn that right palm away from you to assist you further in the stretch. Feel that left big toe from the knee that's bent into the mat. Find a little bit more length, reaching up through the crown of the head on the inhale, twisting the heart around the right side of the ribcage on the exhale. When you're ready, come back around to the top of the mat. And we're going to bring the hands over to the right side, stand up on the left leg, untwist the legs, and come into pyramid pose, facing the back of the mat. So now my right foot is forward toward the back of the mat. My left foot is back. I'm able to stretch the right side of my hamstring. And we just made that little twist. So establish just making sure you have enough room between the hips. And let's find that little thread. Come to the fingertips, look forward, find length in a flat spine, inhale. Exhale, forehead to shin. Inhale, find length, look forward. Exhale, forward to forehead to shin. Third time we'll stay. Inhale, lengthen, look forward, draw the right hip back. Exhale, forehead to shin, breathe. If you had blocks and maybe you wanted to bring the floor to you or to come to the fingertips, any way to make this posture feel a little bit more comfortable. There's a soft bend in my right knee, and I can lift up a little bit through that right quad. Just going to allow a little bit more opening right? Our body works in converse. So if I'm engaging the front of my right thigh, it allows my back of my right thigh to turn off. Breathing in presence and awareness and love, and letting go of judgments and fears and expectations. I am enough. I am love. I am here in the moment. Maybe you feel that tingling sensation of energy leaving the body as we change our fascia and tissues. Finding a flat back to the fingertips when you're ready. We're going to take that twist on the other side. So the left knee will come down straight to the mat, and my left knee will come across the body. I'm going to pivot on my left shin and bring my booty down. So again, we're in a seated twist. My left knee is bent under my body. My right leg is up and over. That's the one on top, or just to the inside, whatever feels better in your body. And so establishing that, maybe lift and lowering the hips so you feel more stable. Bring the right hand back like a second spine. Lift the left arm up by the ear, reaching the fingertips up, and then hook the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Find length, establish that first before we twist, and then maybe you can see it better from this angle, pressing the left arm away to assist me to twist a little bit deeper. Just like we did in those standing twisted postures. We did open twists, we did prayer twist, finding that nice long spine. Our standing postures are done. You start to slow the breath down. Maybe work on elongating the exhale, softening. Even just the jaw, we tend to hold tension there through our practice. If you're one of those jaw clenchers, I am. Good, and then come around. I just want you to open up to the wide edge of the mat. So let's keep our left heel inside our groin. We're gonna make this little triangle shape with the left, and the right leg's gonna extend out into like a half V. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg. And then I want you to bring the left hand onto the rib cage. Use that to gently twist the left side of the rib cage open. And then when you're ready, lift that left arm up and over. I want you to slightly turn, just for today, the pinky finger down so you feel this broadening of the left side of the shoulder blade, and the hand comes almost slightly in front of the face. Continuing to maybe open the chest up toward the ceiling, keeping as much weight firmly rooted into both sitting bones. Maybe this looks like this for you, or even up here, just looking for a stretching sensation through the left side of the body. Maybe you can bring your hand all the way down to your foot. That's cool too. Taking another breath in and out. And then as you inhale, upright the spine. Bring the left hand back behind you, so it's behind the left glute. That left knee is there. I want you to come up onto the left knee, press through that right big toe, and lift that right arm up. It's a little back bend here. Opening through the front of the left thigh. Opening through the front of the heart. And then exhale, lower everything down. Let's switch the legs. Left leg will go long. Right heel comes into the groin, making that little triangle shape. And then bring the left hand to the inside of the left thigh. Bring the right hand onto the rib cage. Turn the chest slightly up toward the ceiling and lift that right arm up and over, turning the right pinky finger down. The hand is slightly in front of the face, so you feel that broadening through the upper back. Breathing, slowing down the inhales and exhales. You showed up for yourself, maybe trying something new for the first time, or like meeting an old friend, coming back to your mat, maybe after a long hiatus. My yoga practice has always been this kind of coming home feeling. That no matter how far I've strayed, I come back and my body remembers, like, yeah, do more of that. Inhale, upright the spine. Bring the right hand back behind the right glute. Press onto the right knee. Press the left toes down, straighten the left leg, lift the left arm up. Little back bend, modified gate pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. Slowly lower everything down. Go ahead and bring the legs forward to the top of the mat. Bending the knees one at a time, bring the fingertips back behind. So my fingertips are facing toward my glute. I'm going to come into a modified Navasana pose. So I'm going to roll back onto my tailbone by lifting my chest and heart up, and then straightening the legs to your degree. Just find this first. Maybe you want to play around with floating the hands or keep the hands back there to support you. Just take a few breaths here. Feel the belly kick on, pull the navel in and up. Maybe you feel the hip flexors kick on. That's normal in this posture. Then when you're ready, bring the feet down so they're hip distance apart. Bring the right hand down. I have to turn my fingertips away. And I'm going to lift my left arm up. It's find this kind of crab reach posture. So my right fingertips are away. I'm going to press onto my feet. Just kind of like we did that little baby back bend. This is a crab reach. So I have weight under my feet and weight under my right hand. I'm slightly leaning toward the right. So I'm going to come down, bring my hips down, and I'm going to try to find neutral as quickly as I can. So again, neutral may be here or fingertips down. All right, second side, feet are going to come down. My left hand's going to be down and planted and turned away from me. Press down to the feet, lift the hips, reach with the right arm, find a little back bend, find that crab reach. Breathe here. This is kind of a sneaky little ab exercise we'll do together before we end our practice. Lower everything down, bring the hips down as neutral as you can. Float the legs. Again, fingertips can be down. All right, so we're going to take a rest. We're going to work between those two postures. So either Navasana with arms lifted or modified. I like to keep my legs at tabletop and try to find that neutral. So think of hugging everything together. I'm going to do maybe, 5 rounds total. So each side is 1 round. So feet will come down, right hand will come down. I'm going to lift up to that crab reach, lower the hips down, lift everything up, come to that neutral. Hands will come down, left hand will come down, find that crab reach. The hips will come down, the legs will lift, the arms will lift, find that neutral. All right, working it through at your own pace. Again, the goal is coming into this neutral position as quickly as possible. So here we are kind of off center as we have 3 limbs down on the earth. And then we find that neutral. 5 rounds total may be a lot. All right, working through that crab reach, opening up the front and back body, coming to that neutral, moving as quickly, as slowly as you need to. All right, I'm doing 1 more right and 1 more left. Feel that the abdominals, the torso kind of anchor, and as you pull everything into that neutral. Meet me in Navasana. If you haven't been there, let's breathe. Let's all meet. Fingertips are cool to be here. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Slowly roll on to your back. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little bit side to side. A sneaky little ab exercise, right? Trying to find that neutral. It sneaks up on you. It's harder than it looks. Good. Let's go ahead and bring the feet down. Take them a little wider than hip distance. Open the arm wide like wings and windshield wiper the knees to the right. The right foot is there if you want to lift it on top of the left thigh to assist in the stretch. And maybe you want to lift the head and gaze toward the left. Just breathe. Really starting to slow down the breath now at this point. Maybe even closing the eyes. Moving very slowly and intentionally, bringing both feet back down under the earth, the knees come back into neutral, and then just windshield wiper them over to the left side. Maybe that left heel lifts up on top of the right thigh to assist in the stretch. And maybe it would feel good to lift the head and look toward the right. Closing the eyes. As we slow down and start to inch our way toward our final resting posture of Shavasana, and letting go of any of those unwanted thoughts or judgments, expectations or anxieties. Letting them all go here, leaving that energy on the mat. Gently, slowly, bring the feet back, bring the knees up toward the ceiling or sky. And then maybe keep the arms wide. Just start to really gently wiggle the knees side to side. So make this as effortless as possible. We've offloaded the spine now. We're taking gravity out of the equation. We're just allowing the knees to gently rock, as effortless as possible. Eventually, I just want you to wiggle those legs further and further away, just inch by inch. Maybe that little rock comes a little bigger, or maybe it stays a little smaller as we just loosen up any tension through the low back. You feel that sense of accomplishment or a beautiful vibrational high after we move our body. So as you wiggle those legs further and further, eventually they'll take a more traditional Shavasana shape, maybe even taking up more space than you normally would. It's this almost symbolic gesture that we recognize we deserve to be here. We deserve to occupy space, to take up space, to be on this earth. And just start by taking a scan. Feeling the crown of the head, the forehead, the temples. Relax the eyes and the eye sockets. Relax the muscles of the eyes. Feel the cheeks become heavy and unhinge the jaw, letting the tongue rest in the palate. Taking great care as you begin to relax the throat, through the chest, down the arms and fingertips, and down the torso. Drawing that sense of relaxation down each and every vertebrae of the spine, all the way down to the base of the tailbone as that sense of relaxation wraps around the hips. Continuing letting go of any gripping through the legs and calves, the ankles, heels, and all of the 10 toes. Just gently allow your awareness to rest in the center of the chest. Imagine this deep, cavernous world of expansiveness, of possibility, of unending love, boundless energy. Just allow your awareness to reside in this beautiful, deep, dark space inside each and every one of us. And yogis believe it's in this space that the true self resides, the unchanging, everlasting, loving energy inside each and every one of us. And that each time we practice and meditate and sleep, that we connect back to this source. It's our human nature, and for all living things have to sleep to some capacity, and it's that connection to source where we recharge, reconnect, and really remind ourselves of the true grandeur that's inside each and every one of us. Maybe this space has a light, a color of gold or yellow or white. Maybe you just imagine it as never-ending expansiveness or possibility. I'll leave you in a few moments of stillness, just allowing that attention to reside right in the center of the chest. You're ready, just wiggle fingers and toes. Deepen the breath, maybe. And bring the right arm up by the right ear, bending at the elbow, making it for your head to rest. Just simply reside on your right side. Reminded of that you guiding. You breathe in. To seated, maybe keeping eyes closed for a few more moments. And no matter how many miles we are apart, we're still sharing this connection, this energy and vibration. And I am truly grateful for this opportunity to guide you through this self-love flow. Bring your hands in prayer or anywhere alongside your body. Just bow forward to seal your practice and honor that deep, beautiful space that is in you and is in me. And when we reside in that space, we are connected, we are one. Namaste.